Some people think your success is measured by the amount of intelligence you have. Life has taught me it's not about that. It's about working hard towards your goal, never quitting until you get there. Don't stop till you get there. Let's pass. Hi, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Fernando Cardona. Today, I'm accompanied by a Navy recruiter from Puerto Rico. This is the first time we do a live in English. I have a lot of students who, hey, you do all the lives in Spanish. Normally, I try once a month or once every 2 months to invite guests to help us give us an orientation about the different branches. So this is the first time we do it in English. And I would appreciate if you would give a like and a share on your Facebook to your social media. You never know who will see this, and it could help them make a decision that would help them in their life, change their life, benefits, etc., to make a better decision. So if you would do that, that is greatly appreciated. As I said, my name is Fernando Cardona. I help people pass the ASVAB with a good score, and I'm accompanied today by the recruiter Ayala. Hello.
Hey Fernando, good evening, good morning to everyone. I don't know what time of the day is while you're watching this video. Like you said, this is the first time English interview, right? So there's a way to celebrate today. Great for that. So yeah, I'm here at Navy Recruiter. I'm stationed currently in Puerto Rico in the western part of PR. I don't know from which part of the US you are looking to this interview, but I'll give you the tools and the resources to help you locate a recruiter close or near to you. That way you don't have to travel all the way to here to be recruited into the Navy. So let's get started. We're looking here, right? My name is Anthony Ayala. I'm a hospital corpsman, second class petty officer. My job in the Navy is currently is to be a Navy medic, to be, precise and basic. I do a lot of medicine. I've been 6 years in the system. I've been working on emergency rooms and critical care transport environments. So my area in the medical field is all about emergency medicine. So that's my kind of specialty. I've been working on Naval Hospital, Jacksonville, Florida, in the ER. I've worked on Naval Hospital, Camp Lejeune, and I've done cross-assigned missions with Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, you name it, I've done it. So basically, I got vast experience within the medical field and the emergency section. So what's the Navy? I always like to start my orientations, my brief, explaining what the Navy does. And we're like an international force that we help secure our seas. And we're on the watch so that other countries don't get military power over it, so that world economy can flow internationally without any type of issue. First of all, we're a humanitarian aid branch. So we're not a combat related force as of other branches. So that's a big thumbs up for us. Why a lot of people don't know about the Navy? At least that's an issue here in PR. A lot of people don't know about us. It's because there's not a lot of information out of us, because it helps us filter out the type of person or applicant that directs our audience to. That helps out to take out those people that don't qualify on the moral section, or have like difficult backgrounds. What are we looking into the Navy in terms of applicants? We look quality over quantity. So if you're a person that has a good standing on the society, don't have any type of medical conditions that can, take you out chronically, so you're welcome more to talk to a recruiter. So steps of recruitment. I always like to start this by what we call a blueprint. It doesn't matter what type of recruiter you hit up. It might be Army, it might be Air Force, it might be Coast Guard, whichever. They're going to ask you a series of questions to help determine if you're eligible in the basic level. So let's say they're going to ask for your age, to see if you're age qualified. The Navy current age qualifications is from 17 with parents' authorization all the way up to 39. So it's age. They're going to ask you about your health conditions, if you have any type of surgeries, if you had any type of police involvement, and dependents. It's going to be like basic questions asked to you. So after that blueprint, if you qualify in a basic level, we're going to set up an interview, which you will sit down with a Navy recruiter or whichever service, because this is the same for each and one of them. And they will get to know you. They will get to know your interests, if you're interested in active, reserve, what's your plan of life, what's your current situation. So they will help you out, to develop a life plan for you while in the military. It's very important to get to know you. So that way we can help you in a better way. Once you qualify on these basic steps of initial interviews, we're gonna give you a pre-test. So you might go to an Army office and they will give you a pre-test and they will treat you like they don't know you. If you go out of the Army office and go towards the Navy, it's gonna be the same because we don't know you. So in every office you go to, in recruiting office, they're gonna give you a pre-test on the initial interview. Why is that? The Navy and all services are looking to qualify or pre-qualify people in three aspects: moral, physical, and academic. The first step is the moral. So they're gonna give you a paper asking for basic information, type of police involvement, or any type of court cases, etc. If you're good on that, then you qualify on the moral aspect. Physical is gonna ask you about medical conditions, height, and weight. If you don't have any type of issues, then you're qualified on the physical section. And the third one is the academic one. So they're gonna give you a pre-test and they're gonna see how you are on that day in passing the ASVAB. So if they see, or I see that you cannot pass the ASVAB, I'm not gonna take you towards MEP so that you waste an attempt on taking the test and have a bad day, because no one wants to fail. No one likes to fail on a test. So it's important to qualify on those three sectors. Once you qualify on those three, you're gonna have an appointment on MEPS, which is Military Entrance Processing Station, to take the test. For the Navy, you need a minimum of 31 AFQT, Armed Forces Qualifying Tests, to join the active component, and 26 if you want to join the reserves. For other services, then you need to ask your recruiter because they change often. So I don't know on other branches, but I think it's the same, about 31 or above for Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, whichever. So once you pass the test, you're gonna go to the assessing phase, which you sit down with your recruiter, you talk about your opportunities, the job you qualify for, and they are gonna fill out what it's an enlistment package. So basically on those forms, it's fraternization, drug and alcohol abuse, aberrant behavior screenings, police record checks. You're gonna fill out your emergency contacts. So it's those type of things when you create an account and you click on read terms that you never read. Basically those things. You don't ever sign a contract on a recruiting office. So once you fill out all that information, you're gonna be scheduled for a physical test or a medical test. Doesn't mean that you're gonna go towards MEPS and you're gonna run on a treadmill or you're gonna do push-ups or you're gonna do sit-ups or whatever. It's basically a basic medical assessment, which they will evaluate audio, capabilities, visual. You're gonna do a drug test, HIV, and basic range of motion. So basically you go to MEPS on that day. It's gonna be early in the morning. First thing is gonna be a visual test, that basic eye exam, read the letters. They're gonna do a color blinding test. So they're gonna show some colors in a circle, and there's gonna be a number within the circle. So you gotta read those. And depth perception, which is a test that's exclusive for the Navy. That test will point out one circle from the group of 4, and you gotta pick whichever is outstanding more. The second test you're gonna go through is the audio test. So you're gonna go into an audio booth. They're gonna give you a control with a set of headphones, and you click every time you hear a sound. Pretty basic. Next to that, you're gonna go to the medical part of the blood draw. They're gonna take some blood sample out of you for an HIV test. After that, it's gonna be a urine test. Well, they will measure if you have protein in your urine, or basically if you do drugs. And after that, you're gonna go to a medical assessment in range of motion, which they're gonna separate both sexes, males and females, and a series of range of motion exercise like lifting your hands up and dropping them down, touching the tip of your fingers back and forward, and doing the dog walk, which is a famous exercise I do in MEPS. And after that, it's a one-on-one interview with the doctor. And once you qualify in every aspect of the physical exam, then you go to a process which is called classifying. The classifier is a Navy staff that has access to the following equation. He's gonna have your ASVAB scores, he's gonna have your results of your physical test, and summing those two is a way to know which jobs you qualify for. Because you may qualify in the academic side for a job, but on the physical side, you don't. For example, let's say you want to join Spec Ops and you want to be an explosive ordnance disposal person, but on the end of the color perception, you're colorblind. So can you imagine yourself being colorblind and trying to cut the green wire when you see in the bombs all the wires are green? So there's a specific physical demand on certain jobs. I'm not saying that you're gonna go for EOD, but if that's your pick, you know what you got to look for. So once you go to the qualifying section in the classifying part, the classifier will log into the system. You will tell them what are your interests based on what you talked with me or a Navy recruiter, and they will tell you what's available for you. You know, they will have access to everything. They're gonna be like, for example, you want to be a hospital corpsman like myself, you want to be a medic. They will be like, oh, then we gotta fit a date for medic leaving on November 5th. We got one on December 20th. We got one in February 12th. And then if you pick the February 12th one, then you know you're shipping on February 12th towards boot camp as a hospital corpsman, Navy medic. So you get to pick your job and the date you ship out to boot camp. So that's a big plus for the Navy. So basically, once you enlist, once you pick your job or rate, as we call it in the Navy, you're going to do the oath of enlistment. You're going to join the Navy, and you will be referred to an onboarder who's a person in charge of your training and preparation before you go to boot camp. That program is called the Delayed Entry Program, which is called DEP, some way. So after joining, you're going to be contacted within 72 hours from this person, scheduling an appointment with you. That way, they will give you the official welcome towards the Naval Service, and they will explain to you the 5 contacts they need to have with you as a future sailor, which 3 of those have to be by phone. Here in PR, we do it every Monday with just a group chat. Hey, good, like thumbs up every morning. I know that you're alive. That's it. The 2 face-to-face ones, one of them is a DEP meeting, which we gather all the future sailors and we give them classes. We teach them, basics of Navy boot camp, which prepares them towards what's the upcoming challenges of RTC. And we give them PT. So PT is optional because we don't want you to get hurt. So if you feel sick that day, don't PT. And the second face-to-face one, it's basically on a personal level. So you'll share your opinions, things that bother you, things that you want to change. So with the onboarder, that's the day that you get to to make arrangements and discuss things that are not much convenient to discuss in a group level. So basically, that's the basics on how the process works in terms of recruiting. It's almost the same for every branch. Every branch has a delayed entry program. Every branch has to go to mess for the ASVAB. Every branch has to go to the same physical exam. The thing that changes the branch what you're aiming to. I always like to say, don't think that you're joining the Navy. It's a thing that you won't be able to see land. We cover the 4 aspects of warfare, which we call sea, air, land, and underwater. So you can be, stationed whichever you like the most. When I take my applicants on the assessing part, I build a plan of life with them and see what they're like looking into. So because for me, it's important for you to stay in the Navy and do a career, not just a simple contract and bail out in 6 years. So for me, it's important for you to stay. That's why I take my time on the assessment part. So going over the special programs we offer here in the Navy, one of the most popular ones is Navy NSO, Navy Special Operations, or Navy Special Warfare. There's 5 rates or 5 jobs that fall under that sector: Navy SEALs, Navy SWICs, EOD, rescue swimmers, and Navy divers. In order for you to apply to these 5, you need to qualify on outstanding ASVAB score and physical exam. After you clear on your ASVAB and your medical, you need to join the Navy. Because before SEAL, SWIC, diver, rescue swimmer, or EOD, there's a word that comes before, it's Navy. So you got to be in the Navy before trying out for these. My advice for those people applying towards these programs is to pick a ship date, no matter the job, the farthest you can. Because once you get into the delayed entry program, you will be referred to a special warfare scout. That person will contact you, screen you, and introduce you to training aimed towards these programs. You gotta perform what we call a PSD, pre-screen test. It's a physical test that consists of swimming, running, push-ups, and pull-ups. You gotta pass this test with the scores that the required job you want, can clear for. These tests is performed twice a month, so you will be trained for these. The second program I like to talk about is the Navy Nukes, Navy Nuclear Engineering. This is a program that I say is like spec work for academics in a certain way. There's more rigorous demands on the qualification sector of Navy Nukes. First of all, you gotta be under 27 years of age, have no type of criminal background. You gotta be a United States citizen, not resident. and have a minimum ASVAB score of 65, you know, my last 65 or above in the AFQT. And then we look into the EL section on the line scores. If you take the ASVAB and you see the ASVAB sheet, you're gonna see Navy, and you're gonna see a bunch of numbers with letters on top. You look towards the EL and NUC, nuke. If one of those two scores is 252 or above, you're an alpha nuke, which we call that auto qualified. Now, if both of those scores are 235 or above, you're considered a Bravo nuke, which you need to take a second test called the NAPT, which will boost your score and see if you qualify for the position. Once you qualify for this, you're gonna have, you know, throughout security screening, which we go in depth 10 years back, we do credit report checks, police involvement, all that stuff. We send it over to our nuke shop. They approve you, and once you go to MEPS for your physical exam and qualify on the physical portion of it, then they'll give you the nuclear engineering portion of the job. The third community I like to talk about is the Navy CTs. CT stands for Cryptologic Technicians. These jobs as CTR, which is collection, CTM for maintenance, CTT for technical, CTN for networks, and CTI for interpretive. This is like the geek squad of the Navy is what I call. So if you're interested in code breaking in crypto, but not crypto in the terms of, you know, digital money like Bitcoin or Ethereum, whichever of those assets, is more code breaking. Out of that community, there's only one job on the CT community that you need to take an extra exam, which is the DLAB for the CTI. So in order for you to be a CTI within the Navy and interpretive, you need to qualify on the ASVAB portion of it first, physical. And once you're in the delayed entry program, you can contact your dev manager, which is the onboarder, and express the interest of taking the DLAB, which is the test towards the CTI. He's going to look into your score, and if you qualify, he will schedule an appointment for you at MEPS to take this test. Like Fernando said in the past interview, there's a book that supposedly helps you out to study for this test. I believe you had two, right? Two students that cleared the test.
Yeah, I've had previous students take the test, and they just told me that the book that they use is the one that's in Amazon. They just wrote D Lab, and one or two books will pop up, and they passed the test. Now, the problem is once they passed the test, they just told me they passed the test and they were happy, and that was it. They didn't like let me know, or maybe I didn't ask them. So I don't know how much the book helps. The problem is there's not much information on the test out there. So I think the book is like 12 or 15 bucks last time I saw. It's a good investment, I'd say, for something that could help you pass the test. But if anybody uses the book or has used any resource and is watching this live, let us know in the future how good was the book, how similar to the test it was, or if you used anything else. Apart from that, your experience, do people tell you it's hard, it's difficult? What do people tell you?
Well, I've had people that passed the test without even studying, and I have people that studied and failed the test. So it's more of a perspective on your ability to be a code breaker, because the test, based on what they told me, because I haven't taken the test, it's a secret thing. So they say that they give you a set of headphones, you listen to a foreign language, and they will present you some images. So you got to be able to relate what you're hearing with the images in front of you. That's the way the system works for, you know, for the test. So I have people that like to play puzzle games and they beat the exam like easy. Now you got people that don't have the ability to be a code breaker and they find it hard. It's more based on the person. That's why I cannot say that there's a specific study material, you know. I don't know what language are you talking in the test. It might be Mandarin, it might be Russian, it might be Middle Eastern. So there's like no specific way for me to tell you to prepare for it. You just got to take it and that's it. Or if you got your, you know, your resources with the book. So I don't know really how they did it. So that's basically for CTI. Remember, it's the only job in the CT community that will require a second exam besides the ASVAB.
And you can
So
repeat it every how many months?
every 6 months. Now, if you took the DLAB and you failed it, but you're still eager to join the CTI community, you can retake the DLAB within the fleet. Once you join the Navy, you can retake this test. So don't feel bad if you didn't make it on the first try. these type of programs, the people that success is the one that keep on going, not the ones that quit. So it's very important for you to keep on eagerly, striving for this. So moving on forward, the next community I have here is an advanced electronic field or the advanced technical field. There's a bunch of jobs in this type of community, like advanced electronic computer fields, that if you have the Navy page following on Instagram, they posted today about the ACF portion of the Navy. So there's a lot of questions there that might pop up. I don't know if later on following sections you want to ask for it. And also the ATF, the technical side of it. Remember, if you enlist on the ATF, it will require more of hands-on action rather than electronics or computer-based. Now, if you go AEF, it's more of a technical and computer-based or systems, like I say. So it's important for you to check on which one you enlisted or you want to go towards him. So, and the last thing I have here on my outline is the Navy Reserves. Yes, the Navy does have a reserve component. I cannot tell you in which part of the US you're watching this video, but there is a Navy component assigned to your area, a reserve component assigned to your area. For example, here in Puerto Rico, everyone here, doesn't matter from which part of the island you are, you got to go towards San Juan, Fort Buchanan base. Now, if you live in Jacksonville, you got to go close or near towards the Naval Air Station in Pensacola. Naval Air Station, Jacksonville. That's where the reserve center is. So if you're around that county, you got to go towards there. Depends on where you're at. It depends on the service system you're going to have. So a good thing about the reserves is that I always advise here in Puerto Rico that if you fall under any of these two categories, you need to consider the reserves. First of it is a senior student. If you want to pursue college after high school, but you want to also have a military experience, you should consider the reserves. It will give you a part-time military experience, plus you'll have all the benefits of a civilian life. The second part of people I always tell to look towards the reserves is the ones that have a good income. If you have a good job, good income, but you want some extra military experience, plus some extra benefits from the federal sector, I highly encourage you to look towards the Navy Reserves. It's the best of both worlds. How does this work? So you gotta serve 1 week in a month and 2 weeks per year. 1 week in a month, you're gonna get paid for 4 days of active duty work. So you're gonna have a schedule for the fiscal year that will tell you in advance which dates are the drill schedules at. Now, the 2 weeks of the year, you can pick whichever is more convenient for you. You'll be fully sponsored by the Navy, depending on where you're at, to go and work in the area you work in, in the Navy, in your job. So those 2 weeks you will have per diem. So you'll have money for food while you're over there. You're gonna have a car rented. If you qualify, you can have a hotel, etc., etc. So it'll give you an experience in your job field in case you're needed sometime in active duty. A good thing about the reserves is that if you have a specific case that you cannot join active duty and the only option for you is the reserve, don't throw it away. Have that opportunity, because later on in the service, you can switch. There's different kind of programs available for you guys. You got our C2AC, which is reserve component to active component. We got our definitely recall programs. We got our FTS programs. We got CANRIC programs. It all depends on what you want at the moment. So it's important that if you cannot go one route, take the other one. It might look a little longer, but it's better to take a longer trip and make it to the end than not even making a try, So that basically covers up my outline. So I'm open now for some questions if you guys have some.
Yes, I have a question. Remember, when we answer questions, first of all, this information that is giving is for now. Things can change in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So we're in 2021. If you've seen this video in the future, it's been 3 years, some of the things would have changed. Not everything stayed the same. I remember when I began helping people pass the ASVAB, that Navy required a 50 AFQT. That was like 5 years ago.
Yes, when I joined, it was like that. It was 50 QT or above.
Yeah, so things change depending on the necessity of the different branches. Some branches things change with the strictness of tattoos. Now many more branches are more lenient to that. I know that Navy has the most lenient policy, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So if you have tattoos and somebody told you, let's suppose you went to a different recruiter, another branch, any other branch, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, and they said you can't join with the tattoos before you get them removed. Talk to your local Navy recruiter if you were considering them, because they're more flexible. I know some people have them in the hand and they can join. So they're just before you get them erased, talk to a local Navy recruiter. Um, so let me see. I have one question here. Somebody tells me that he has 2 herniated discs, but he can do any type of exercise and it doesn't bother him. Do you think it disqualifies him, or do you think he could have a chance? What do you think he should do?
Well, my experience in the medical field, I'm not a provider for the Navy at the moment. I'm not a doctor, so I cannot fully have a determination, yes or no answer for this person. By the way, thank you for your interest in the service. What can I advise you is that if you have any type of medical documentation, you can hand it over to a local Navy recruiter and they will submit it for a review at MEPS. MEPS doctors might tell you, hey, bring him over for an inspection or phys only, physical exam to see if, what you're telling goes in, by the hand of what the doctor sees. And if the doctor determines that you're good to go, then you can join the service. Now, if the doctor says that no, then it's a no. Why is this? Because at the moment you might not feel any type of pain, but in the future you might become a liability for the Navy, and you can put your life or other people's life in danger. So that's why MEPS doctors go very hard on this type of medical conditions.
Yeah, but it's if you're interested in joining, the best thing is to contact a local recruiter, tell him your condition, tell him everything that has occurred, and he'll tell you if he thinks it's worth submitting or if he thinks it's not. Like there's other conditions that it's for certain no. Like I have keratoconus, and that's a visual problem, a weird condition, and that's permanently disqualified. There's not even. I tell any recruiter I got keratoconus, and he'll be like, well. Thank you, goodbye. With you, there might be a chance. Or I've had people who I've had students who've had a torn meniscus, and they get treated for that, and obviously after they get the treatment, operations, etc., they've been able to join. So there are things that can join.
I do have an applicant, which is one of your ex-students that passed the ASVAB, and he has both of his knees with repaired meniscus, and he's about to join the Navy without any type of issue. They require just an ortho clearance letter that he's good to go, and that's it. Everything's submitted, we're just waiting for the final approval.
Yeah, obviously, like he says, like Ayala's saying, it's not like, oh, you got operated, you can join. No, you got operated, you got cleared to be able to join a doctor. Well, then you can join. So I hope that helped clear it up. Somebody wrote, Melissa, what did he say about being a U.S. citizen? Did you talk about something about citizenship?
Yes. In order for you as a basic requirement to join the military, you must be a permanent resident or a citizen, like, born in the U.S. or being brought apart by U.S. parents. But you need to be at least a permanent resident with a green card. If you have that, then you can join the Navy. Now, there's certain programs that will give you a top secret clearance that if you're not a citizen, they will not grant it to you. So you got to keep that in mind.
So basically, for people who are not citizens, you could join, but you're not going to qualify for all the jobs. Some jobs require you to be a citizen. But that I've had people who join, like students who join, and when they join, they select one of the jobs, and then once they become a citizen, like let's say 4 or 5 years, whatever the time it takes, then they could even without taking the ASVAB, if they already qualified for a job they want and they have the citizenship, then they could, obviously the job has to be available, they can submit to reclassify. Yeah.
Yes, that is very true. I remember back in boot camp, I have my rack mate. He was from Ghana. He was, a citizen from Africa. He was a permanent resident in the U.S. While in boot camp and A school, he managed to get his citizenship. And later on, I found out that he switched out to CTI, which is a job that requires you to be a citizen. And he made it possible. It's just that if it's not available right now for you because you're not a citizen, don't give up. If you're a permanent resident, there's might be, there might be a chance for you in the future.
Yeah, so you have to have an open mind also. Like I've had people who say, "Hey, I want this job and this job exactly." You have to consider that you could have, like, you could qualify for that job, but if they don't have any vacancy, there's no opening. Well, you have to have an open mind to see if there's any other jobs you have. So I always recommend people to at least have their plan A, plan B, plan C, because the world isn't like that. World isn't perfect. Like, okay, you're getting that job. Also, there might be other jobs that you might also like. Like there's a lot of different jobs, not just one specific job. Anything else you think you want to talk about that?
Yes, like I say, if you don't qualify for the job you want right now because in an academic way you don't fit for it, you can join the Navy and later on retest, raise your ASVAB score without putting in danger your actual score. And if you qualify for the position later on, you can switch, which we call cross rate, or change your rate or change your job, whichever you like to call it. The Navy offers you what it's called OJT, on the job training, which, for example, I had people that work in hospitals in the IT section of it, but they managed to get their HIPAA clearance for the, if you're working with medical people, you need to have HIPAA law certificates, and they managed to get those, and they shadow me and they work with me in the ER. I have people mentoring, from all the areas. If you want something made, the only person stopping you is yourself. It's like I say, if it's possible for you, you'll find a way to do it. If not, you'll get an excuse. Either way, you'll get something. But the Navy offers you a vast array of opportunities for you to vast yourself and all the experiences you want. So it's very important for me to tell you that if you want to be a police officer, you can go for it. In the future, you want to work with computers, you can go for it too. It all depends on what you want.
We don't have any other question. I do appreciate your time. And even if you already saw this and you found it helpful, please leave a like, share it. You never know where this could reach. Also, even though Ayala is a recruiter in Puerto Rico, he did tell me that there is a way for you to find a local recruiter where you live at. If you can let me know how it was.
Yes, instead of going towards Google and typing local Navy recruiter, a better way for you to contact a real close recruiter towards you, because not every office shows up in Facebook. Go to Navy.com and fill out the survey. And the same system will let someone know close to your area to contact you because you want information, and also will direct you to the closest office in your area. So the best way is to fill out the survey in Navy.com.
Let me see something. I've never tried this. I'm making an experiment right now. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me just see.
Okay.
Navy.com. So now I just wanted to see if it worked. Now I know that when I'm giving another live, you learn. So here, are you seeing it also?
Yes,
see it over there?
I'm seeing it over here. You can.
So you will go to contact us, right? Yeah, yep. Contact us. Chat live, find a recruiter.
Find a recruiter.
The easiest thing is find a recruiter, and the survey zip code. I'm in 34606. So here it gives me the phone number, 2 phone numbers, and Brooksville, that's the closest one to my house. And the little map gives you other alternatives. So yeah. Nice. I normally tell people to Google, but sometimes Ayala told me that I didn't know. I'll tell my students now that sometimes Google won't send you to all of them. Like here, you have all the official ones because it's in their page. Very, very, very helpful. Something else you want to say, or?
So, like I say, and I said before, if it's important for you, you'll find a way to do it. If not, you'll get an excuse. So, always believe in yourself. If you failed the ASVAB once, don't, don't quit. Keep on striving. On this path of joining the military, the ones that have the best success is the ones that keep on going, and they don't get depressed or demotivated because they failed once. Life is filled out of constant failures, but the ones that achieve the maximum goals are the ones that keep on going.
It's about perseverance.
There you go. It's all about perseverance. Like I say, I'm currently in Puerto Rico, but if you have any type of doubt or question that you want an answer from me or my opinion, because I don't like to ask or talk about medical conditions in a public forum, you can address me by phone, WhatsApp, text message, or email, and definitely I can help you out.
Perfect, perfect. So even though many of you are not in Puerto Rico, his information is going to be in the Facebook description, and when this video goes to YouTube, it'll be in the YouTube description. His phone number. If you, let's say you're based in California and you want to join the Navy and you want to ask him a question, just send him a message. Hey, I'm from California. I have this and this doubt, and he'll point you to the right direction. Also, if you do have trouble passing the test, I always recommend people go talk to a recruiter, take the pre-test, and if you don't do well, you either buy a book, get a tutor, etc. If you want my help, my information is also going to be up there. Just text me or message me, and I'll send you a video of how I teach, and then you can make a better decision. I've heard of people, I don't talk bad about any tutors or anything, but with me, you find out if you like it before you pay. I want to work with people who like how I teach. Basically, that's it. And also, my way of teaching is learning by doing. I don't like crybabies. I always say it. Some people get mad at me, but I believe that you learn by getting it wrong. You learn how not to do it. And then you practice, you get better. You get better every day. You're getting better until you're at where we want to take the test. And we only do that by practicing, getting it right or wrong, learning, and keep on doing it. Anyways, I do appreciate your time for letting us give you this orientation. Ayala, I do appreciate your time. For you guys who don't know, tomorrow there's a storm coming to Puerto Rico. Hopefully it doesn't come. Hopefully just a little bit of rain. And Ayala took his time, and he actually this orientation in English was another person who was going to give it. He had a family situation, an emergency, probably the storm. I don't know. I don't pry. I'm not going to ask him. But I told Ayala, and Ayala's like, hey, let's do it. And I do appreciate that. This is on his personal time in Puerto Rico. It's 9 p.m. He had to work during the day. He's over here working. Sometimes people don't know that recruiters, it's not sitting in the office and not do nothing. They sit in the office, they get asked the same question over and over and over again. It's not that simple. And him taking out of his time to give us this orientation, I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And September, I'm going to be in Puerto Rico. If you are around, you want to take a coffee, let me know. We can set that up.
Let me know. Coffee unite lives.
Coffee. For any student who's watching, I'm a coffee addict. Whenever you're in Tampa, you can also, if you're a student, let me know. We'll have a coffee, or if you're a recruiter, etc. Ayala, thank you very much. I'll let you guys go.
At your service, man. You know how it is.
Take care. Have a great day, people. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.